What is going on, guys? These are my Week 3 NFL predictions. Before I get started, I just want to point out that Week 2 I did really well. I only got 2 wrong, so I went 13-2. I didn't do Thursday Night Football, but we'll get to those later in the video. This week, we are going to start with Thursday Night Football. I got my schedule right here in front of me. You may notice that the camera looks a little different. I have my mic now hooked up. I'm actually doing these videos now on my laptop on photo booth. I'm going to get a webcam at some point so I can improve the video quality. But right now, at least we're going to have a little better audio. And guys, I'm just working on improving the channel, doing anything I can do. Let's go and get started. So Thursday Night Football, which happens to be the night of the day I'm recording this, is the Miami Dolphins at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Guys, I don't think either team is as bad as a lot of people probably think they are. But I do think that the Dolphins are still going to be a little offensively challenged. I know Mike Gesicki, the tight end, is off to a really hot start this season. But I'm actually going to pick the Jacksonville Jaguars at home in Duval in front of fans. And just because I think right now Gardner Minshew is the best quarterback in that game. At some point, I think Miami's going to switch over to Tua. Not that Ryan Fitzpatrick played bad week 2, because he necessarily didn't. But I do think that at some point they're going to have to look towards their future and realize that they're not really going to be a competitor this season and a contender anyways. Starting Sunday, the 1 o'clock games, the Chicago Bears at the Atlanta Falcons. Guys, we got an up close and personal look at the Atlanta Falcons this week, and for a lot of the game, they were really good. And, of course, now they're known for blowing games, whether it be the 28-3 lead in the Super Bowl over Tom Brady's Patriots or the game against the Cowboys this Sunday where they were up 20-0 after the first quarter. Guys, I'm still going to pick the Atlanta Falcons in this one. I just think they're a little more talented, especially on offense, than the Chicago Bears. I think Matt Ryan is going to have a big day, and I think guys like Calvin Ridley and Russell Gage are going to step up again. And don't sleep on Hayden Hurst, the tight end. He's doing big things in Atlanta. So we move on to the Los Angeles Rams at the Buffalo Bills. I know that Dan Mitchell thinks that the Buffalo Bills are going to annihilate the Los Angeles Rams, and I just don't see it happening. I think the Rams are a really good team this year. They're kind of going under the radar. The Bills, not so much because, they're a good team, but they're not necessarily going under the radar because people kind of expect more out of them this season, right? Because they're building on last year's playoff run, and they added Stephon Diggs, and I do think the Bills are going to be a really good team this year. I think the Los Angeles Rams are hot now, and that's why I'm picking them to win that game. So we got the Washington football team at the Cleveland Browns next, and to be completely honest, this game just doesn't excite me. The Cleveland Browns, I think, are going to be a bit better at running the ball, and I think that will put them over the top from the Washington football team. Outside of that, I think it's pretty closely contested, right? I mean, they both have stud pass rushers, whether it be Chase Young or Myles Garrett. They both have, kind of young quarterbacks who are still trying to figure out if they're good or not. And Dwayne Haskins and the Cleveland Browns, Baker Mayfield, and I think Haskins is a year younger, and he's probably showing a little more promise right now, and Baker is the one that kind of needs to prove himself at this point and step his game up. But I do think that even still, the Browns run the ball well, and they win that game. Next, we have the Tennessee Titans at the Minnesota Vikings. I'm not going to spend too much time on this one. I picked the Vikings to beat the Colts last week, and the Vikings sucked. So they might have been the worst team in football last week. I am going to pick the Tennessee Titans. I think they're a pretty good team, and they're building on some decent wins in Week 1 and Week 2. The Las Vegas Raiders at the New England Patriots. So the Raiders are a team I picked to lose last week, and they really proved themselves against always tough New Orleans team. So, guys, I'm going to go ahead and pick the Raiders, even though it's in New England, and it might not be a super smart pick. I like what I see out of that Raiders team, and I just think their offense has the potential to be a little more explosive than that Patriots offense. Next, we have the San Francisco 49ers and the New York Giants, and Man, the Giants are dealing with a huge injury with missing Saquon Barkley for the season. At the same time, San Francisco 49ers are dealing with a lot of injuries. I don't think Jimmy G's going to play in this game from what I've heard. There's other guys out too. There's a lot of guys out for the 49ers. I still think they're just the much better team, especially defensively. I think they'll be able to run the ball, and they're just going to beat a weakened Giants team. And I just don't want the Giants to win because they're in the NFC East, but that's another story for another day. Cincinnati Bengals at the Philadelphia Eagles. Guys, I'd love to see the Bengals win this game, but I have to pick the Eagles here. I think they're 0-2, and they need a win desperately, and the Bengals are a beatable team, so I think the Eagles find a way to win this one. Houston Texans at Pittsburgh Steelers. I picked the Steelers. Houston Texans just don't have a lot of weapons. Deshaun Watson is really good, but they got to put some better players around him. The Steelers defense is really good. Haven't played a great offense yet, and they're not going to this week, but they will be playing a good quarterback. Either way, I think the Steelers are going to step up and win this one. James Conner is going to be healthy and good to go, I believe, and Big Ben's playing okay. Next, the 4 o'clock games, we have the New York Jets at the Indianapolis Colts. And guys, I'm probably going to pick the Jets to lose pretty much every week until they prove me otherwise. And the Colts proved me wrong last week. So week 1, I picked them to win. They played so bad against Jacksonville that week 2, I picked them to lose. But then they made the Vikings look really bad. So I'm going back to thinking the Colts are still a pretty promising team, just looking at the talent on the roster. Really good offensive line. A talented rookie running back and Jonathan Taylor who can be a star. And Phillip Rivers can still play. Their defense is also a bit underrated in my opinion. So I definitely have the Colts in that game. Next will be the Carolina Panthers and the Los Angeles Chargers. It's somewhat tough one to call because the Panthers haven't won a game yet. And they've yet to impress. The Chargers, I like what I've seen out of Justin Herbert. He's making some of the same mistakes, just barely missing throws like he did in college, which is some cause for concern, although you shouldn't have too much concern considering he's a rookie. But I do think they're playing a little bit better football right now. I think they have a much better defense, and I'm going to pick the Chargers. Dallas Cowboys and Seattle Seahawks. Guys, already did the game preview for this one. I'm going to pick the Cowboys. I hope that doesn't come back to bite me in the behind. Detroit Lions at Arizona Cardinals. Lions are another team I'm going to keep picking against until they prove me otherwise. Cardinals are off to a hot start, 2-0, and I don't see any reason to believe that they wouldn't beat the Lions week 3, so I'm picking the Cardinals. Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Denver Broncos. So I think the Denver Broncos just lost their quarterback, Drew Lock, for a while, and I believe they also lost Phillip Lindsay for a while too. So I'm definitely going to pick the Broncos, the Broncos to lose, I should say, even though they have Melvin Gordon. Tampa Bay got rolling in week 2, and I think this is another game where Brady's going to step up his game. He's going to throw to Mike Evans more, and Mike Evans kind of helped to make Johnny Manziel the sensation in college that he was, and I think he's going to make Tom Brady look really good in Tampa. Not that Brady doesn't look good on his own behalf, but Sunday Night Football, Green Bay Packers at New Orleans Saints. Guys, I'm going with a hot hand right now. A-Raj is killing it. He's a bad man, as Stephen A. would say. And I'm going to pick him to beat the Saints that struggled week 2, even though it is in New Orleans. Then we have Monday Night Football, the Kansas City Chiefs at the Baltimore Ravens. And guys, I kind of struggle with this one. This should be the game of the week. I personally am picking the Ravens to win just because the Chiefs' offense has not looked super explosive to start the season. They've done a really good job running the ball with Clyde Edwards-Helaire week 1, but week 2 they kind of disappointed against the Chargers, although the Chargers do have a tough defense. But until I see a little more, the Ravens have a tough defense too, and I just think their offense is rolling on all 4 cylinders. Now, I'm sure at some point in the season it will definitely happen to the Chiefs, but early on, they're just having a couple little struggles here and there. They're still winning games, so I don't think it's anything to worry about. But that's what I'm picking. I'm picking the Ravens to win. And now I get to sit back and gloat about week 2. Week 1, I had to eat a little bit of crow. I don't think I don't remember what my record was, but it wasn't too great. I missed a lot of games. Week 3, I only missed, and did I say week 1 or week 2? I don't know. But week 3, I only got 2 wrong. So let's go ahead and go down the list. I picked Green Bay over Detroit. Got it. Picked Chicago over New York Giants. Got it. Rams over the Eagles. Cowboys over the Falcons. Somehow got that one right. Buccaneers over the Panthers. San Francisco 49ers over the Jets. And by the way, I'm 6-0 at this point. Tennessee Titans over Jacksonville Jaguars, 7-0. Pittsburgh Steelers over Denver Broncos, 8-0. Buffalo Bills over the Miami Dolphins. Oh, wait. Was that last week? Yeah, I guess so. Okay, 9-0. Minnesota Vikings over the Colts, 9-1. So I got that one wrong. I already kind of talked about that. The Colts are impressive. The Vikings were far from impressive. So I was wrong. And then we had a team that was a little less impressive the week prior on the Colts, and then they kind of stepped their game up. So good for them. Washington football team, I picked the Cardinals over them, and I was correct. 10-1. Chiefs over Chargers, barely got that one right, but 11-1. Ravens over Texans, 12-1. Seattle over New England. I heard a lot of people pick New England to win that game, which I thought was odd. 13-1. And then Monday Night Football, I picked the Saints to be the Raiders. I got that one wrong. Guys, I'm not too upset. The ones I got wrong, I don't think those were gimmies by any means. So 13-2 for week 2. I think the matchups are a lot tougher for week 3, to be completely honest. So I'm not guaranteeing that I'm going to get any of those, or all of those correct, I should say, that I'm going to go 13-2. I'll be happy with like 10-6, considering I did do the Thursday Night Football. But like Jags Dolphins is a toss-up in my opinion. There's a bunch of toss-ups this week. But guys, do me a big favor and leave me your thoughts in the comments. Who do you think you're going to win these games? And if you're a Dallas Cowboys fan, go ahead and smash that subscribe button for more daily Dallas Cowboys content. That's going to do it for today. I'm out. Peace!